Welcome to fabulous Lake Tahoe, your local's guide to the very best of America's year-round playground. I'm Jack Durst, and I'm taking advantage of a break in the storm to go out walking with my dog. My poor dog, he's been stuck inside for days and days and days. It's been snowing. We got almost 10 feet of snow over 5 days. It's melted off some now, so it's finally safe to go out on the trail. And I thought I'd bring my camera with me and tell you guys a little about how to hike on the trails in Tahoe in winter safely. First of all, you got to pick yourself a trail that is well trafficked. This trail from Kingsbury Grade to the post office in Round Hill is a perfect example. It's a very popular dog trail. They cross-country ski and snowshoe on it in the winter, so it stays open all winter long. It is not easy to find a trail in Tahoe that's suitable for hiking in boots in the wintertime. You need to either look up the trail on the map and infer that it's going to be really busy from where it is, like some of the beach trails are, or you just kind of have to know. How to dress when you go out on the trail. You want to wear layers, lots of layers. I'm wearing a down jacket, nylon ski suit, thermal shirt, and a t-shirt under my thermal shirt. And it's about 33 degrees out right now. It's just barely warm enough for the snow to be melting. You would not want to be stuck out in this weather without too much protection, because even though it's beautiful right now, Lake Tahoe is famous for its changeable weather, and you do not want to get stuck out in a freak snowstorm without the proper protection. I also have some nice leather gloves here. Don't wear them because I can't operate the camera with them on, but I would be wearing them otherwise, because as you can tell, it is very, very cold. And I would far rather be sweltering in a snowsuit and be saved if there is a blizzard, rather than be cold out in my shorts on the trail in the wintertime. I've been stuck out on the trail. It's not fun. Don't do it. In case you do get stuck out on the trail, carry a protein bar, carry a thermos full of some warm drink. I like green tea. Green tea raises your metabolism. It actually physically makes you warmer. Alcohol, you're probably going to wind up passed out in a snowberm freezing to death. Green tea, at least you'll be hyper enough to drag yourself home. Also, it's always a very good idea to charge up your cell phone. If you have a data phone like I do, my data phone has a number of really good apps on it for hiking out in the Tahoe thing. Tahoe Daily Tribune app has, you should check out my review of it. It has a Google Maps integration feature that maps all the trails in Tahoe. You can also get reports of avalanche danger and weather from there. The weather app in my Android phone is tremendously useful because it tells me when it's going to snow and when it's not going to snow, which tells me that I'll have the 2 hours it takes to get to Round Hill and back by foot and not get caught out in a storm. It's not just Google Maps. You can download an app for your GPS that will give you your compass bearing and your exact GPS coordinates. Please realize GPS does not work everywhere in Tahoe, so don't rely on your GPS. Don't think you're never going to get lost because you have GPS, because the GPS maps are not necessarily perfectly good up here. Always take your GPS with a grain of salt, but nevertheless, it's really handy to have it. You see all these rabbit trails going up to who knows where on the hill. If you know what you're doing, stay on the heavily marked, well-trafficked trails. Because if you go off one of these rabbit trails and not know where you're going, it's very hard to find back. If you do get stuck out on the trail with no clue where you are, the hint, go downhill. All of the civilization is downhill and toward the lake. So head downhill and toward the lake if you're lost, and eventually you will run into a highway because the lake is ringed with highways. Come on, Throttle. Let's go for a walk. Well, I finally made it to the post office. It was a much rougher walk than I expected it to be honest about it. You got to take advantage of what chances you get to rest, because there aren't a lot of places on the trail that are plowed out, and there's about 2-3 feet of snow on top of every flat surface out on the trail. So I finally made it to the post office. Don't get me started on the U.S. Postal Service. while I was out on the trail, my mom calls from vacation asking me if I can go to her house and dig her out. Well, her house would mean another 7 miles in the other direction after I get home. Also, if you smoke, please carry a butt box. I keep this old Altoids box in my front pocket of my snowsuit so that when I'm out on the trail and I need to stop and have a cigarette, I at least don't litter my cigarette butt in the snow berm. I know you think it's gonna get buried. Those things don't biodegrade for years and years and years. And I find years old cigarette butts melting out of the snow berms in the spring. So if you do have to smoke out on the trail like I do, exercise a little caution. In the summertime, you'll burn the whole city down. In the wintertime, it's just a littering nuisance, but it's a really bad littering nuisance. It really, really pays to have good shoes out on the trail. Last time I walked, my shoelace broke in the middle of the walk. My foot went about 2 feet down into the snow berm. My shoe sucked right off, and I had to dig barehanded in the snow to find my shoe, which was then full of snow and wet, and I had to walk home with a snowshoe full of water. Not fun. The other thing you have to be careful about when you're hiking out on the trail this time of year is it looks like the trail is compressed like a foot deeper, like maybe there's a foot of snow and then a layer of ice in the trail. Well, that layer of ice is on top of 2 more feet of snow. And if you press down hard, just a few inches from where it's compacted, you'll wind up to your knee in snow, or maybe up to your ass in snow, depending on where on the trail you are. Happened to me 3 or 4 times walking out here. My poor dog wound up buried to his neck in snow and struggling to get out. I had to help him out. Maybe not the best idea to have gone walking today, but I get cabin fever really bad when I'm stuck in the snow with nowhere to go and no way to get anywhere. So I figured before the next 10 feet of snow fell, it was really a good idea to go out and get myself a good walk. Thank you. Hope you enjoy your hiking out this winter. Hope you're enjoying the snow and the skiing. There is fabulous skiing here in Tahoe this weekend, and probably for the rest of the ski season, now that there's going to be 5 more feet of snow on the way in a couple of days. I want to thank you for rating my videos, commenting on my videos. Every time somebody comments or rates, my channel gets a little bit bigger. I couldn't do it without you guys. Thank you. Keep Tahoe blue. Don't forget to subscribe.